Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone who I learned this truth from. I want to say peace, mercy, and blessings to all of the hopeful elect. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means He exists or He is to be. The name of the Son is Yahushai, which means He is the deliverer. And we are the Hebrew Israelites. There's 12 tribes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Lance Hispanics. We're those people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, the self-proclaimed white man. He's not white, he's red. They have a biblical nationality as well. The so-called Caucasian, according to the Bible, they're Esau, Edom, Idumea, Mount Seir. And according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follower. Okay, so this right here is an article from Capitol in Maine. And as you can see, it reads, Border Patrol and ICE agents are arresting U.S. citizens in immigration raids. See, right now it's starting with the Northern Kingdom. Okay, when you do your history on the Hebrews, the 12 tribes, during the time of David, the 12 tribes were united and they were at war with the heathens, the Edomites, the Philistines, the Amalekites, the different surrounding nations, the Moabites, the Ammonites, etc. Right? Now, during the time of Solomon, there were peace, 40 years of peace. All right, we were at peace with the heathen nations. Okay? After the death of Solomon, our kingdom got split between two sons, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. And that's where you get the northern and southern kingdom from. Now, today, the northern kingdom consists of the so-called Mexicans, Dominicans, Cubans, Puerto Rican, the so-called Spanish-speaking tribes. They are Israelites as well. They make up that northern kingdom. Okay, so the attack is starting with the northern kingdom, then being the so-called deported, which we don't really know where they're being taken to. Then, they got the whole boast of alligator Alcatraz. So I'm going to read this, and they say there's enough, alligators for pretty much the entire Hispanic, Latin, Spanish-speaking population in America. So Esau is letting you in on his plans, population control. But who they're trying to get rid of, that's code word for wipe out the Israelites, man, right? Border Patrol and ICE agents are arresting U.S. citizens in immigration raids. Capitol in Maine has documented 9 Babylonians who have been held in federal custody after observing or protesting in immigration raids. See, we're at the end, okay? And as we get closer and closer to the end, evils, wickedness, injustice, unrighteous decrees, unfairness is going to increase persecution, especially towards the Israelites. The 2 Edges 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And, how you measure the time is by going into the scriptures and reading understanding the prophecies, and linking it to what's happening. To linking that to what's happening in the world today. That's how you measure the time diligently. You do the scriptures and the prophecy therein. All right? And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, such as 70 AD, that has passed. Okay? Satan being loosed a little season. We're in this season right now. He's going out to deceive the whole world. The main deception is with his technology, facial recognition, digital currency. Everything is going cashless, and ultimately the mark of the beast. We're seeing how the groundwork is being laid for that. So we're seeing a lot of the signs past, the great awakening of the Israelites, the apostles and the elders, the bone to his bone, the camps forming, right? 2, then shalt thou well understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he made now. It's in this time that the Most High is going to send his son to visit. Now, the day of the hour, we don't know. Only the Father knows. 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, and I believe they just had I believe it's an 8.8. I'm not sure where it was at, but you know. Okay, on July 29th, 2025, a magnitude of 8.8 struck offshore the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. So that's earthquakes in diverse places. Okay. It says, all right, that's nothing. But yeah, second edge is 93. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. So we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places, and we're seeing uproars of the people in the world in diverse places as well. Okay, and I got a quick video on that.
In real life, I've been here.
So this protest has been going on for 2 weeks already, and it's still going on today, August 8th. There has been no news on it, no TikTok videos on it, and no TikTok lives. It's insane that we're being censored and we're, not seeing what's really going on. And, I live in Los Angeles, and I haven't heard anything about it until literally just today. So people have been protesting in Los Angeles for 2 weeks straight, and there has been no videos, no news coverage on this. And basically it's being censored. It's been going on for 2 weeks already, and I did not once see a video, hear the news talk about it, or nothing. And that's low-key insane, because we usually find out through social media and stuff, or through TikTok mainly, but there literally has been no videos popping up on my For You page. And it has me thinking, damn, we are really being censored from really knowing what's going on. So this protest has been going on.
As the protest, look at the comments real quick. It says, everyone should look up the music festival, LA, or 24-hour music. So you can't even look up protest that's going on in LA. You have to look it up as 24-hour music festival. Now, it's not an actual festival, but it's pretty much a, non-stop protest. That's the uproars of the people right now. Because what? People being grabbed up by Border Control and ICE. People who are acting like they're cops, but in actuality, they're not. So I'm gonna play this video. Lord willing, it plays.
Several United States citizens have been detained and held in immigration detention centers since federal agents descended onto Los Angeles' streets in early June. Job Garcia was taken into custody at Home Depot in Hollywood on June 9th and held in federal prison for several hours without charges.
Slovakia. Something's going on with the audio. Yep, I'm gonna go down in this audio. It says, since federal agents descended on Los Angeles streets in early June, several U.S. citizens have been detained and held in immigration detention centers. A Capitol Maine review of local reporting video and social media posts found at least 9 citizens were taken into custody by agents with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement or U.S. Customs and Border Protection after protesting near or observing immigration raids in the LA area since June 6. 2 are currently facing federal charges. Job Garcia arrived at the Home Depot in Hollywood for a delivery gig for another company on the morning of June 19, expecting to have a regular day. But moments later, Garcia, a U.S. citizen, was tackled, arrested, and detained by federal agents. So it's not just, oh, you're, a legal alien. Now they're coming after U.S. citizens. They don't care. And a lot of these people aren't actual law enforcement. They just cosplaying. Okay, they're not actual law enforcement. They're just cosplaying. And you know what? There are other nations here. Why aren't they being targeted? Why is it that you have to ask yourself? Why is it that only the so-called Spanish-speaking tribes, Haitians, Jamaicans, why only these people being targeted? But yet there are other different ethnic backgrounds, minority groups here. They're not being targeted like the tribes because it's a spiritual thing. It goes back to what the Lord said, man. This is not our rest. you know. This is from the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted." And the whole America is polluted. From the air to the food system to the water supply to the minds of the people, all right, at every level. It shall destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. So this is not our rest. A lot of our people think they're going to come here, live a good life, and better opportunity, better than themselves. And then they get here and they realize that Esau's the fucking devil. They're hated. A lot of them face persecution simply because they speak Spanish, you know. Back in his article from Capital in Maine, Garcia said he spotted vans pulling up into the store's parking lot. So those people live in fear. Okay, they live in fear of being grabbed up, and you don't know what's being done to them. There's reports of them being flown over the water and just thrown the fuck out, man. Imagine you being put up in a helicopter, shackled head to toe, and just throw you off the fucking helicopter into the ocean. Terrifying, you know. And all type of sea creatures is eating you, you know. Garcia said he spotted vans into the store's parking lot and began filming as federal agents started breaking the window of a truck with a man sitting behind the wheel. Videos taken by Garcia and other bystanders show several masked men in green vests that read police and U.S. Border Patrol approach Garcia and tackle him to the ground. "Give me your fucking hand. You want it? You got it." One agent said, "You want to go to jail? You got it." So they're coming down with great wrath. Okay, so we're like in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, right? The agents took Garcia to Dodgers Stadium, where he told Capital Maine he was held for hours before being transported to the Metropolitan Detention Center downtown LA. The federal prison's basement has been turned into a detention facility for people apprehended by federal immigration enforcement officers, where civil rights advocates say detainees are being kept in grossly overcrowded dungeon-like conditions. One of the Border Patrol agents who detained Garcia is the same man who was subsequently arrested and assaulted with a Long Beach police officer in resisting arrest in a separate incident. According to Capital Maine's review of the footage, this matter is under investigation. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said in a statement to Capital in Maine. So what we're witnessing is the devil coming down with great wrath. Pretty much the beginning stages of it, but it's only going to increase once the military actually gets out there, you know?
Block the back! Hey! She's a minor! Hey! She's a minor!
16-year-old grabbed by ICE for allegedly trying to record the victim they kidnapped in the car, because that's what they're doing. They're just grabbing people up, you know? That might be the last time you see them. And some of them are actual, you know, legally documented. Which Esau, he's the real illegal fucking alien, you know? Her sister and bystander manages to wrestle her away.
Hey! Minor! She's
Okay, but you get the point. This is what's happening, you know?
No. Nope, I'm not getting out of the car. Not getting out of the car, and I'm not opening the window. Yeah, because you tried to kidnap some people in my neighborhood. I'm not opening the car. Don't break my window, dude. You don't want to.
You can tell that's the Edomite. That was a Jake. That would have been broke that fucking window. All right? But yeah, we're telling our people, man, you know, come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because shit is going to get nasty out here. All right? This is 2nd Esdras 16. And I'm going to jump down to verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. So it's going to be worse. Like, that's just ICE. Imagine martial law, UN troops, peacekeepers, blue helmets, and different military groups, coming down on our people, all right, during the economic collapse, the hour of temptation. These are things that are coming. A great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto the idols. It's going to come to a point where they're going to take people, but in order for you to be released or allowed to go back into society, you're going to have to take the C-hip, which is the charagma of Revelation 13, verses 16 through 19. And that is the mark of the beast. Okay, now I remember a few years back, my mom, she had like a vision of these things, man. She said they were people, not police, but they were people grabbing people up, locking them up, doing whatever with them. She also said that she saw like whole families disappearing. So the scripture talks about, that people, roughly paraphrasing, I'll pour my spirit on all flesh, and certain people gonna have dreams and visions. 2 Ezra 16:68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So you being idle, all right, there's them capturing you, all right, and you just fucking waiting somewhere, overcrowded area, hot, hungry, 69, they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden on the foot. And if you consent, meaning you agree, you make a conscious decision to receive this mark, you're going to be destroyed. They're going to mock you and trod you on the foot. 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Now, all of our people the Israelites are the ones that fear the Lord. And right now, all of our people, they may not know the true name or the true doctrine and follow it, but a lot of our people do have a zeal. As it's written, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So this is just a prelude of things to come. And it ain't just the Spanish-speaking tribes. It's going to be all the tribes, all right? And a lot of these heathen nations and Edomites, they're going to get caught up in it too. 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods, because Jacob's trouble is going to turn into everyone's trouble, right? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. There you go. So she said, my mom said she had a dream about that. They were taking people out their houses, and, all those people that are prepping, showing what they got on TikTok, this and that, they going to come take that shit. If the troops don't come take it, your neighbor going to get it, right? 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold or in the fires. During that time, the elect are going to be protected, guided, divine intervention, glowing, and good spirits, and people are going to see that, and people are going to be drawn onto that power, all right? And men of the Lord are actually going to receive power, 73, hear you, all my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So we're in the days of trouble, man. Okay? We're in the days of trouble. This is not an article from CNN.com. It says, we're not safe in America today. These American citizens say they were detained by ICE, Israelites. Okay? Israelites. All right? It's a specific scope and persecution of the Israelites. Right? And it's only going to increase. So I'm going to grab one more, but then I'll have to close it. Maybe two more. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5. For thus said Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Why? Because families are going to be broken up. Man might get drafted to war, leave behind women and children. They're going to be afraid. Starvation, wild beast. There was reports maybe like a month ago of a fucking mountain lion running loose in the hood. Verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man shall travail with child. And men don't get pregnant. They don't have labor pains. They don't have contractions. But from the stress, anxiety, and fear that's going to be on people, you know, is going to be as though, you know. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Because that's a sign of it. What? Extreme fright, terror, or fear, dread. 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So that's the time that we're in a time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, pretty much the beginning stages, and Jacob represents the Israelites. Okay, we're telling our people, man, because 2/3 they're not going to make it, but there is a remnant that will be saved. We're saying repent, come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, pray that he has mercy on you and your household, and believe, keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. Pray that you be protected. That's the only way, you know. It's Isaiah 55, verse 6. Seek ye Yahweh by Shem Yahushai while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Right? So, you know, that's the lesson. Just a quick hit. Pray this has brought some edification. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the hopeful elect.